Hey guys, it's your boy. We're back with more Marvel featured content. And first of all, thank you Kajula for letting me use account to test something that I found really interesting. And yes, Taskmaster just got added in the Black Widow update for the as a support, as a combat villain support for Namor, giving us the 40% damage increase to super villain and hero type damage, right? So we were actually thinking, I don't have the insight right now because I made some changes. So I've done actually videos of actually the Apocalypse team up that I did like few days back when I used Apocalypse to cancel the roar with the Red Hulk team to get the most out of the team up, and that actually worked really well on that account with the Rage Apocalypse. Now not everyone has Rage Apocalypse, and actually Taskmaster, if you have Taskmaster in the team, this team definitely is the best. And actually we were thinking that, hey, 40% damage increase to villain types, and then if we give him an insight, he's gonna be crazy. Yeah, he's gonna be amazing. But that's not the case, to be honest, because you can actually see it says increased damage dealt to superhero types and super villain types by 40%. And if you actually go to your insight, when it procs, it says increased damage dealt to superhero types and supervillain types. Now I know it's just 15% and 15%, but that's the same stats. So if you guys know, if you have like rear, I have the Hawkeye set. So if I have during the fight, if I have the Hawkeye 40% increase of all attack buff activated at that time, and then if I use the fifth skill of my Namor, which gives me 55% all attack, this 55% is gonna cut out and override the 40% that is already going on. So it will override and this will disappear, and this will come into place, and this will likely start playing again. So that happens with every single identical stats that we get. I think that is the same that is actually happening with the Taskmaster also, because the insight proc is actually contradicting with the uniform passive, which I thought that CTP might actually not have to do anything with the uniform passive. Yeah, this is not working. So if you have an insight on Taskmaster, it's gonna be same as without insight on Taskmaster. So I'm going to be showing you two runs now. One was with insight on Taskmaster with the same team up, and one actually without insight on Taskmaster with the same team up right there. So I'm going to show you two runs and you can actually decide. First, I'm not going to go into Namor's builds because this is not about the score. I'm just going to compare the score for the run now. So let's go for the run. Let's go for the first run. Now this is with insight on Taskmaster. So let's go inside in the theme. So 4-5 you will follow the rotation, 4-5-3-2, and then the first skill, move around, and then 4-3 to line up the proc at the 3 seconds, so that we can actually do 5-3 cancel tier 3 and try to actually get your tier 3 skill 4-5-2, or maybe it depends if you can actually get your 3 cancel 2 or 3 or third skill and the second skill under the rage proc also along with the other skills. So that would be really good. Now I think we are going to be missing out the proc, so let's get the proc in. So we got the proc 4-5-3-2, then we got the damage. Now definitely the summary of this video is gonna be coming out after the two runs, but I want to say that to be honest, we have been criticizing Netmarble for these mistakes and Netmarble devs for this mistake, and they definitely have made a lot of mistakes in the past in the game, and they are still actually making some things, some mistakes still in the game. But I think we should actually, from this run, we are actually gonna say that, hey, I just wasted my crystals, if that's gonna be the same case, you know, putting insight on a character. But I think I was also a little bit angry at the beginning, but then I think I understand now that it's our mistake, not their. They do something for actually that was a good change, that we might actually not need to buy. And I think this change was just to compensate and to help the people that can actually not buy too many insights for every single character, and this just saves us one insight. If you go to the gamble for the CDP gamble, I just go for the CDP gamble thinking about the CDP being a 7,400 crystal CDP. from the chest. If you get lucky, you definitely you can get lucky, but still that saves you a lot of crystals if you already don't have insight for this day, and you don't actually have to. Now for people that actually like me who have already put insight on Taskmaster, will have to take it out and will actually still say that we just wasted our crystals. Yes, we did, but I think we should have waited for more testing from other players, like the players that can actually afford all the crystals and all those things, and then chosen what to do. We made a mistake, and now actually we are just paying for the mistake, and that's just definitely it's gonna cost you 600 crystals because the discount is over. So I just hope that discount was still there, but I would not say that this is their mistake. This was a thing that they actually did for us, and now we misunderstood it, and this actually becomes worst for us because we misunderstood it. So that's our mistake. So we are actually just finishing off this run with a really good run. Not a crazy run, but definitely really good run. If you're just over 2 million, okay, so 6.25, not a bad score. Now we're gonna go for the run without insight on the team. Now let's go for the run without the insight on the team. I'm gonna be showing you just simply the same rotation, the 4 5 3 2 and then 1. Actually like when there is one proc, so that I don't actually have to see the proc. So because sometimes I have the tendency to actually see and try to see the proc and which ones are on, which ones are not, which definitely if some of the procs, if one of the procs is off for too long, I usually restart the run. So that's why it's important for me to see the proc and if I'm getting the skills right with the proc or not. Just like that, I just held the second skill just like half a second more just to get the proc activated with the tier 3 skill, and that's the small things that I do to make my scores higher sometimes, because definitely I could be playing a character good, but the RNG of the procking is not in my hand, right? I can just move my skills, I can just do the rotation, but the proc is all RNG. Proc is all, you can say, all luck and some kind of, you're doing continuous damage, but it also sometimes in the luck. You will have to have the luck to get the proc activated, and it's something you cannot actually control. No matter how good of a player you are, there are some things that you cannot control, and this is one of the things. But still, you can see without the insight, we are just over 3 million. We are almost 3.3 million with almost half the time to go. So yeah, this is definitely, I think the damage is exactly identical. It depends on the run. Definitely I did like two or three runs per team up, like having an insight. I did actually 3 runs for the inside and 2 runs for without insight, so I was able to pull this off. And I do not actually believe the first score that I get, because the first score can be increase, because you would see that, because that's why we actually run ABX so many times, because the one and done score are not the scores that actually are the scores that that the character should be getting. So what the character should be getting is determined by actually doing multiple runs and seeing if you get the same results after that, or just to check what maximum results that you can actually get from using that same team up, same rotation over and over again. And that's why every single run is different from other, and that's actually what makes ABX fun also, because there are some things that this is actually really good. I know people might actually think that ABX sometimes wastes the time. Definitely it's a time consuming game mode if you're actually pushing the scores, if you're trying to find out. But actually we just found out something really nice, and I think this might not be the best thing, but this is definitely going to help you out. And I thought that this information was something that should be passed on to all of the people, right? And that's just right there we have 6.1, almost 6.2. So that's 6.2. This run could be the exact same run. Wow, 6.25. Look how close we are. Look how close we are with insight or without insight. So yeah, probably don't feel that this is a bad move from Netmarble. This is actually, either there are two options, as my friend said. Either they just misread something, or they just did something crazy with the changes, or we actually misunderstood it. And I think probably 90 or 95% we understood it wrong. So they did something, and they did this on purpose, so that actually to compensate that the people don't have to have lots of insights. So people actually was putting insight on Colossus, or probably on Red Hulk and Hulk also, for this day, right? So I think that's just a compensation. So you can actually have one less inside. You can just have pick up the uniform, and you will have the same effect, or actually better effect, that you're getting with Colossus with inside or Red Hulk with inside in team, and you will get a better score. Or it's just like having an increased insight, enhanced insight on a character. You can actually use your if you don't have the insight for this day, you don't even need insight for this day, because you have Taskmaster now, you have the uniform now that gives you 40% damage to supervillain as well as superhero on your side. So people that have been actually putting insight on Taskmaster, including me, misunderstood it. I misunderstood it, and I will have to definitely take it out, which it actually does mean that if you have insight on Taskmaster, even for PvP, the insight will not even be there. So that's just your that will just be your uniform. That will just be your uniform passive and nothing else. It's like insight was not even there. So with Taskmaster in team, even for World Wars Ultimate, the insight will not work, and it's like you are just running a team without insight, even if you have an insight on the team. So I hope that clears things out, and this is definitely not working. So if you have an insight on Taskmaster right now, you can actually put it back on someone else, like Colossus use them on AC, AT, or maybe ABX. Or you can actually, if you are thinking to give insight to someone else, you can actually give insight to someone else, because you don't need insight for this day. Now it's probably people are actually capping with Namor today. But I think if you actually have the Apocalypse team up with the CDP of Rage, now this Apocalypse is CDP of Region. If you have a CDP of Rage and really crazy build for this one, this team might actually be a great team for you with insight. Apocalypse also is doing really good with insight without Namor, just solo team. I'm just talking about solo team. Apocalypse is also doing really good. But if you definitely Namor is the better option, because he covers 2 days, and he also, most people have him built already. But I think from the Apocalypse team up, the Taskmaster team up just gives you a little more boost, not huge boost. It gives you a little more boost to increase your score, not much, because you are actually getting inside and the roar cancel. And I think when you use Taskmaster in your team, that kind of evens out what is actually going on with the inside and the roar cancel. So just compensate for the roar cancel and the inside with the Apocalypse team. So yep, definitely take out your inside on your Taskmaster. It's not gonna work. And people actually that were thinking before, definitely Mystique is a standalone character. It's not gonna work on some characters like Mystique, because of the damage increase. Probably this is definitely not gonna work, and I don't know, I'm not sure. I think that just works for the exact same stats, so I don't think any other supports get affected by that, like for Ghost Panther, for the universal days. Actually, I don't think that actually contradicts with the universal like this one. If I had him inside on this team, Ghost Panther also gives 45% damage increase, but that's not the identical. I think the hero types and the villain types are the only supports that get actually affected by this thing, like Taskmaster. Just let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the runs and the information. I just wanted this information to pass to you guys, so to let you know that it's actually important for the whole community, because the people actually thinking to use Taskmaster in PvP and PvE just like me are actually making a mistake, and they should actually don't do that. So I would say, if you already have not put an insight on a Taskmaster, please don't even try, and actually use your insight on someone else. So I thought that this information was going to be helpful for you guys, for everyone in the community. So I just had to make this video. So thank you, Kajula, once again for letting me use your account for this video, and I hope you like the content. I hope you like the information that has been passed out in this video for you guys. So just let me know what you think about the video, and as always, if you like the content, I hope to see you again. Take care. See ya.